One of the questions I often find myself asking myself is this realistic? Should I really do it like this? And I've mentioned before in a couple of my videos when I'm kind of being ingenious, such as the Sosnovkan loading wagon, which I had to invent in my Hard Cows playthrough, which you're welcome to go and have a look at, and which will even be updated soon, I can assure you. I'm trying to recreate here, using loan money and the half-hour borrowing time that we're going to have today, to try to recreate exactly what I saw roll past me in the village yesterday evening. Unfortunately I could not get my camera out quick enough to take a picture of it. It was great. You can kind of imagine where this is going, and I absolutely assure you guys, I've no idea. Well, they must have used a crane to get it in, and they must have had a crane ready to get it out. But this is exactly what I saw. Now let's see if I can do it. I have done this kind of weightlifting with front loaders before. I play with front loaders a lot. We might have a little go one day next time we get in fertilizer to see exactly how much we can get on that Brantner trailer, because it will amaze you. Anyway, here we go. We've got hold of him. This might take a couple of goes because it's hard to get a grip. Get nice and straight. It's kind of there we go. I think we'll get him there. Just enough to take his weight. Yes. In the tipper. You gonna go in? Yes, you are. Fantastic. And there you are. I absolutely kid you not. The tipper would have been maybe about another 25% bigger, longer, and the skid steer therefore was sitting in it a little bit more nicely. So I need to drop the weight. That weight stops you from being able to pull this particular. Yeah, and this actually trundled past me. This exact setup, a skid steer in a trailer, but a proper dump trailer like this one, towed by the front loader tractor off to do its next job somewhere. Yeah, that's village life. So yeah, you are allowed to be a bit creative. Farmers are amazingly ingenious people. They will find a solution to any problem. They amaze me sometimes. So there you go. Okay, enough of the fun and games. We have some work to do. First thing of note, while I was messing around, if I find the right screen, I'll get better at this one day. We have a great demand on for wool, and we produce some wool, and you can sell partial pallets, and there's no advantage to keeping wool longer than you need to. So we're going to sell that. That is probably going to tick down quite quickly over time, so we're going to get on with that. While we're here, we will look at the troughs. I'll just explain something there. You'll see we filled up all the pigs' troughs yesterday. They've all gone down by the same proportion, which is absolutely as you'd kind of expect. Over on the sheep, there's a little bit of a mismatch there between the water and the grass hay. That's because feeding the sheep with bales has let me get over capacity. So basically over the 3 days capacity, because it will let you put a bale in if you need about maybe 1,500 more in there. But then it will just stack the 2,500 or whatever it is on top. So you don't lose any, but that's why that mismatches. The other reason that may change is when you change into a next season, the 3 day capacity on the troughs will switch into whatever the requirements are for that season. And because they can vary to varying degrees between stray, here, corn and straw and water, those bars will again, suddenly one morning you'll look and they'll be a little bit out of kilter. That's just a seasonal adjustment, don't panic. Anyway, I shall start my engine like a gentleman. Was that Limor? No, that wasn't, was it? That was, I don't know, which race was that? It starts like that. Just heading over to the sheep. One of our neighbours here, look, has planted the biggest field of sugar beet I've seen in a while. And that's going to take a while to harvest. I remember back in FS13 on Xbox 360, there was a nice big field down by the biogas plant. Can't remember the number of it. That was funny because great demands, you'd have to catch in an hour because the price would crash, and I think you'd get about 250,000 sugar beet out of a field, and you'd need lots of wagons just stacked up ready to dump it. And no, you couldn't possibly harvest the field in an hour. You had to really organise yourself. Anyway, I'm going to switch to external just so I can see where I've left everything. Give them a little clean while we're here. Why not? And sheep I'm not really too up with, to be honest with you. Certainly, I've seen how much we've made, and it's going to be a very helpful chunk of money. And quite a quick return on the investment. And the sheep are going to make wool in the spring and in the summer. So we'll see how we get on. In terms of the finances, I intend to keep everything to do with the sheep completely separate from the rest of the farm. We're going to borrow the equipment, I think, to mow for them, and we know how much the loan costs for buying them, and we know how much we're going to make from the wool. So yeah, it's obviously acting as a secondary income, and why shouldn't it? But in terms of the keeping an eye on how we're getting on with the pigs themselves, then that is going to be quite an easy thing to account for. Right. Oh, take that down a little bit. There is quite a nice way through here. Oh, I'm going to switch to external and see what I've done. What have I done? Oh, look, they're not spiked. They're on the spikes. Okay, be a little bit more gentle. I'm not sure about what's this building. It's always the 4th of July here. Very bright. I like it. And as you can see, the place is now we've come into town. You can see all the bushes and shrubs. There aren't that many deciduous trees on this map, unfortunately, so it's not showing off seasons to its fullest. But yeah, it's starting to brighten up nicely. Where's that spinnery? Here we are. I don't think I've ever sold wool before in SF17. It's taken the wool. $9,800. That's very good. We enjoy that. Anyway, I'm going to pop back to the farm. I'll see you there. Okay, and we've come back to the main farm. As you can see, everything has survived. For the purists out there, I'm sorry about the corn. Please forgive me. It just makes things a little bit simpler for me to keep track of. Right, why am I here? I'm here basically for your benefit, actually. I need to take these bale forks back to the sheep and get the bucket too, but that's besides the point. Right, the gadget, the whoopster, the whopster, whatever you want to call it. Here, the grass, it's not fully grown yet. It is 67% grown, as you can see on there. The next figure down is the crop moisture level, which is 8%. You can't harvest when the crop moisture is above a certain level, and you can't turn grass into hay either. That's basically for a period of time after it's been raining, depending on the weather after it's rained, how long that will take. Can put the pressure on sometimes. Then the next one down, which is 0%, is fertilization, which obviously we put no fertilizer down. And the bottom one is ground moisture, which currently doesn't have any effect. I think in the later update to the Seasons mod, and they're updating it all the time, as I've mentioned, that will have more of an effect on the ground and ground effect. Right, if we actually look at what we planted, so we've got the corn, 17% grown, 8% crop moisture, 96% fertilizer, and 8% ground moisture. Now the fertilizer percentage on these readings will drop. Don't worry. It doesn't mean you need to get out and put another, layer of fertilizer on at all. Go by the map. Don't be panicked by the figures. They will vary. I think in the simulation it's using it up as the crop grows, I guess. So there we are. Look, we are absolutely fully fertilized. So we've got no worries there. And all the crops, yeah, if you do have problems, basically what will happen if you plant a crop the next day, if it has been too cold for it to germinate, and it's not one of the winter crops, the barley, the wheat or the canola, it will basically show on the map as harvested the next day, and it will just show as just stubble. It won't show as wilted. Wilted shows if it dies in the winter when it's fully grown. Anyway, I'm going to head back up to the forest. That's where we're headed next, because we've got very little to do today. There's absolutely no field work to be done now for maybe, I'm guessing 5 days, I'm going to guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, second day in autumn I think will be harvest day. So what on earth are we going to do with ourselves? And this is another thing about the seasons mod, the way it makes you play the game. You're not reliant on the pig's income. You can't be. Your options now are to fast forward and just feed them, which is going to be kind of dull. So yeah, you've got to find stuff to do. So that's really what we're going to do now. Right, I've just had a cup of coffee with the forest warden, would you call him in America? He would be the man from the Forestry Commission. Look at the spectacular view from up here. We're going to make sure we get up here once a season just to get a picture. There's one for the Xbox recorder. Right, so as we were saying, we have little to do. What we are going to do, and I think it's more important actually in terms of scale and playing this seasons, is to put the time onto 5 times speed. And that's going to be a restriction on what we can do, because I've got a day today just to do forestry. There's no point in mowing the grass because we'll get a better yield tomorrow when it's fully grown. If I actually spent a day at time, how much money would you make? It would really throw kind of the way this simulation is modelled kind of very out of balance. So anyway, but before I do that, a word of warning. Let me show you my economy screens and have a look at the economy screens for the animals. You'll see the flat spots. We're talking here day 2 and 3, and then spring, sorry, and then the last day of summer and the first 3 days of autumn. Now the reason that all of those prices are flatlined is because I left the simulation running, because last year when I was putting the farm together, I didn't want to make loads of money. So on these days when there was very little to do in terms of the fields, then I simply just left it running at 120 times speed, went off and did stuff, came back, saved now and again, didn't really look at things until right where I was thinking of selling pigs at the end of the year, or what the price would be for pigs at the end of the year. I realised what I'd done. Now that glitched at quite a high price, which might be a good thing. To stop the glitch, you basically need to skip night as many nights as you did as you ran through. So in the first instance there, I've run through one night, and then skipping a night has kind of set it back straight. Second time I've run through the last day of summer and the first day of autumn till the harvest was ready, and then it's taken 2 skipped nights to get things back where they should have been in the first place. So there's a word of warning for you. In the worst case scenario, this can happen. That wasn't really too much of a big deal. That was the first game I played on seasons here on Goldcrest Valley. I planted stripes, I did all kinds of experiments just to see what was going on, what would die. That's how, when I say I know something, it's because I've done it pretty much. I'm not saying I'm always going to be right, but I will make it clear whether I've kind of experimented and found something, or whether I'm speculating or guessing. But anyway, there's a word of warning. But now we shall actually do it. Times 5 speed. We'll save the game, because that's always a good thing to do, especially if you get as easy sidetracked as me. And we shall get on with the forestry. Now he's absolutely fine with us taking out these dead trees. The first one is over here. I'm not going to make you have a whole video of me doing this. There he is. Put the blade away so we can run. Now he's going to fall away from the blade. He's going to be big. I want him to go that way actually. He's going to fall into the most space that way, and then we'll figure out what to do with him from there. He could just slide back down the hill and kill me. We'll see. There you go. Stay up there, stay up there, stay up there. No. Oh, that's not a bad result. And if he's spinning, he's even easier to trim. There we are. We'll take off this end bit, which should disappear. Not quite. Took too much off, doesn't matter. Basically, the narrow wood at the end of the tree devalues the good wood, so it's always good to get it off. And there's a little part which disappears. I've shown you all this before. 2, 3, 4. Right, I'm going to cut these about 4, a count of 4 long. It roughly equates to the longest cut on the forest eating machine. What's that called? The buffalo. The Scorpion King was the machine I was thinking of, obviously. The buffalo's the truck one. So it's that long since I used one. Right. It's not that hard to get these pieces of trees out. You'll get the hang of how to swing the ends around. What is more important is having a trailer on a flat piece of ground to load up on, and kind of trying to get the big pieces of wood at the bottom on the trailer. Especially when you're using this trailer, because there's nothing on the sides, you can make quite a nice, you can be gentle, quite a nice flat layer. Right. Oh, again, no, it's not a good place to pick him up. Don't even try. We're going to need a little bit of a wacky root with this one, so we need a good firm grip. Right. Getting like that. Right, we're going to go this way. Oh, it's okay. I learnt my skills in the woodlands of Bjornholm, as I think many of us did. Certainly, well, everyone did on console that played the game. When that very small front loader tractor with a New Holland, the first affordable one, because you still had to buy in 15. For those that don't know, you couldn't put these customized front loader attachments onto tractors. The cheapest one was still quite expensive, especially for hard mode players. Yeah, and once you learn how to handle wood of this size with one of those on the terrain that the woodland was in, right, there we are, you could pretty much handle anything. Right, safe and sound. I'm going to turn the trailer around and get the piece from behind it, or am I? Let's have a look. We'll stay rolling. Can I get it? Yes, I can just about get a grip on that. Yeah, I'll do that now. Do that from here. And you'll see what I mean, that you can load through the tension straps. Left physics only apply to a piece of wood once you've kind of locked it with that piece of wood there. You can see what I mean. So this chap here should be quite happy to go onto there. And then we deattach and reattach, and we've made ourselves a reasonably nice foundation on which to load the rest of the wood. Okay, I shall now get on with it. Thank you very much for your patience. And we're heading out back through the pig farm now. There's a couple more, I think 3 more of dead trees down around here. And just to show you what I'm doing, I'm taking advantage of the way the tension straps work to build up the sides basically, and then drop pieces into the middle. That is my technique for loading these trailers. I'll get on with it now till the end of the day, and we'll see. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 trees on there now. Okay, we're now on dead tree number 5. Tree 6 for the day. Over by Goldcrest Pacific Grain. And everything's going well. When I use the big forestry trailer, the one that you need the dolly for, is it the Flegel? I cut them a bit longer and they can be a little bit more troublesome, but this is all going very well so far. Right, I just need to make sure We control where he drops. A bit better than that. Oh. We're flying around putting some of these logs on, and the minute I start recording, the nerves, the audience pressure gets to me. Oh well, what can I say? And you'll also see, I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, I've only really stood out to me now, that you can see the one tree we kind of got that wasn't dead. The dead trees they do look different. Very easy for the guy at the timber yard to check that we're not overstepping our authority. I'm just making sure we don't overhang the side of the trailer. We've got to tow it from too much as well, because you just stab your tractor in the back, and that's obviously quite self-defeating. Right, we'll put him up here. We'll let him go a little bit. There we are. And just to be extra safe, just do that. Switch it off, switch it back on. Whatever you've put on there is now on there. Well, it's not even lunchtime yet. Right, through here they said. Gonna have to be careful. Seems to be quite a lot of cars here. Oh, there he is, look. Oh yeah. Oh, he's at the petrol station. We'll get some petrol while we're here. I ran out of petrol on my Sosnovka playthrough, and it literally, I was just stranded. I didn't realise it did that. I thought you could limp around, but no. This guy was 25.9 hours or 0.8, I can't quite see that red font. He's doing well. Next time we're near the shop, we'll see how much he's devalued, and you might be surprised. Right. Tree number 6. 6th dead tree. 7th tree for the day. To be honest, we're going to have to go on a bit of a walkabout to find any more, but I might dump these over at the timber yard first. See what we can see over that side of the map on the way round. No, we've got plenty of space. This is a big piece actually. I didn't measure these out very accurately. It's okay. It's okay. Just be very gentle is all I can say when you're like this. You could, in fact I will, I'm going to lower the back weight. Oh no, the claws have given up. Right, we could rescue this. It's not impossible, but it might turn out to be so. Let's have a go. No. Right, back weight up. Claws open. Let's see, can we get back hold of him without... Come on, come back. There we are. Oh, we've rescued him. As straight as we can. Right, we're going to take advantage of the accommodating straps and hope we can let go. This is, well, there we are. Yes. There you go. There's an advantage to your jaws glitching occasionally, and that's that sometimes it's the only way you can let go of the trailer of wood. Right, the very last piece for today. I don't know. I'm a little bit torn. Obviously, the idea here is to check on the pigs and how we can do with the pigs, but I don't feel the need to confine ourselves to that too much, not when we have so much time on our hands. And as I say, I'm going to keep quite good accounts. I do wish the in-game finance screen ran for longer. I mean, why can't we just see the daily sheets for the whole game when we feel like it? That would save me a lot of spreadsheets. And I know from the forums, other people too, I'm not the only person who's doing spreadsheets. I've played Eve for 10 years, I know spreadsheets, I can assure you. But that's a story for another day. One of those games that is so invasive of your life, you have to take a break, as I am at the moment. That's okay, that's kind of the way the game works, it's good. Other players step in. Right, here we are. We've got 7 trees on a Brantner bale trailer. I'd quite happily get a bit more on there. It's got quite a bit of weight to it, Hopefully this is going to be the Boucher's biggest challenge yet by far. So I'll tell you what, I'm just going to carry on recording. Oh, almost fell at literally the first hurdle there. Right, we need to get to the timber yard, which is... Oh, yeah, we're going to cut back through. We're going to try and find a reasonably flat route. Now, we do have a cheeky route, which is to follow the rail tracks. It is a little bit shorter, that's for sure. Take that carefully. Ooh, well done. But we'll probably just stay on the road. Oh, Voucher, you're doing really well. Yeah. Maybe I'm just too used to playing. Most of my playthroughs, especially in the second year of the game, in between the releases, I just end up playing it with kind of harder and harder startups, which can be quite restrictive on the equipment. And I do forget how well some of it performs. The biogas plant, not sure how much we're going to be seeing of that, to be honest. Right. Can we see him from here? There's a tree. He's over there. Excuse me for 1 minute, bear with me. Authorised vehicles only. A little bit harsh. Where is this tree? You can see it from up here. It's over there, that tree. You see it in the middle. I think it's a maple. I'm not sure. We're going to go and look. It stands out. Wait until the summer, and in the autumn actually. It's almost like a magic tree. If I made a map, maybe one day I will make a map, who knows. I wouldn't bother with gold nuggets. There are gold nuggets on this map, obviously. I assume they appear in seasons. I haven't even looked. I'd hide the equivalent of that just in something quite random. No, that would be what I'd do. Or maybe, you know what I mean. Some kind of hidden treasure. Yeah, you can just cut round on the railway track. It is a bit of a shortcut. But it is also quite a rough ride. And with this load, I'm not going to take any chances. If you guys are wondering how I can do the cameras like that, it's because I've got the, is it Vehicle Collision Disable mod? There's a mod that's, otherwise you can't control a camera and you get the same issue with buildings. So that's the mod you want if you want to be able to do this without the camera clipping on your behalf. Right, I'm going to stick to the road. I didn't keep a very active eye out for dead trees. Can we get across the tracks here okay? Yes, we can. Oh, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The grass is looking beautiful and lush. Right, oh, careful, careful, careful. Let me try this, because I'm not too terrible at backing trailers onto each other. I mean, watch the wood disappear piece by piece. How deep is this making us go? There we go. Right. Ta-da! How much have we made? We shall have a look. Let me get out of here. So, sold wood. No, $30,600. Really? For those 7 dead trees? I'm a little bit shocked. Of course, I am playing this on normal. I usually play on hard. I think I also always do hard sums in my head, if you see what I mean. And I always get a nice surprise rather than a bad surprise. Well, there you go. But that's, well, do I need to do any more work today? I don't know. I'm actually going to go and make myself a cup of tea and a sandwich and think about it. Well, I've had my cup of tea and enjoyed my sandwich, and I think we're going to call it an episode there anyway. So, yeah, I'm a little bit shocked by that, but on the other hand, that's $39,000 today from those dead trees and the part pallet of wool that we sold first thing this morning. That's a year's expenses, 50%, 55% covered in one day. And that is really how seasons really changes what you do. You've got so much time. How are you going to not make money? It's not really a question of will this make money, will that make money, will that even lose money. Yeah, you can go into seasons as you can go into any game. You know, you can play this however you like. If you want to absolutely maximise your profit from day one, there are ways you can do that. Yeah, we know that. We've already got more wool. I'm looking at this, well, originally it was an experiment, you know, how would we get on with the pigs? And I know, you know, roughly how much money we're going to lose a year just raising the pigs, but also I know, look, it wouldn't be that different if we were just doing, you know, your normal kind of crop. So, no, this is a lovely way of playing the game. I think that's what I'm trying to say. But do realise how different it is. If you've never seen a season's playthrough before, I mean, this is the point really where it dawns on you, okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 days to kill really before I can work on the fields again. Nothing I can do about that. So ingenuity and making money is the name of the game, and use every way that you can. Anyway, that's enough for now. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave a comment, ask us a question. I mean, how do you think we should take this now? We're going to have a lot of money. Tomorrow's going to be mowing day. There's some more dead trees to clear. We will get those. Any input is absolutely welcome. So leave a comment, drop me a line on the forums, whichever way you want to do. Anyway, leave us a like if you liked it, please, and subscribe if you want to stay in touch. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.